most roads are unknown. These are the paranormal roads.
Hello everybody, welcome to Paranormal Roads. You're listening to Paranormal Roads podcast, and this is Jack.
And this is Mike.
And we're going to be talking about Ebola Part 2.
Ebola, it's back.
It's back, and I tell you, it's a bad disease.
Ebola, coming to a town near you.
I'm just going to start with something, and Mike's got a lot of information. There's rumors in Pennsylvania. These are rumors, so I'm not trying to scare anyone.
Right.
But I've heard rumors that there are hospitals not reported on the news that there's a patient or patients being treated for Ebola.
Yeah.
A possible Ebola.
When you called me and told me that, I was not happy. It was not a happy thing. Yeah, I mean, I know we just did Ebola show part 1, like not even like a week ago, maybe 10 days ago?
Yeah, and I told you we got to do Ebola, and you're like, okay, there's not much to talk about it.
And it's like one of our favorite shows.
And like the next day, it's all over the news.
Right.
It's crazy.
Yeah, I know. And it was 50%. Oh, it's over in Africa, and 50% of the people are dying. Now, the real numbers, because we talked about that on the first show, we knew those were just the beginning. Yeah. Now it's 70%. The death rate from Ebola in Africa is 70% now.
Yeah.
50 to 70. That's a huge swing, 20%.
And if anybody heard our first show on this, what we said was that's people that are around it, that have been dealing with this for years, possibly. It might be, like, in America, people, like we said with the Indians back in the day, this might wipe us out.
Oh, it could.
So,
well, I mean, even the government now is coming out and saying they're expecting 10,000 cases a week. They're claiming there hasn't even been 10,000 cases total. Now they're coming out and saying they're expecting 10,000 cases a week this month, and it's October.
In the United States?
Right. Well, all over the world.
Oh.
Right.
Right now, there's only 3 cases being reported on the news. But I've heard a rumor.
Sure.
So, if there's rumors going around, and I'm just going downtown and hearing this, I don't have no validation that it's true, but people get scared.
Oh, sure.
And I'm thinking to myself, why would a hospital not be on the news? Why would this not be reported? And I'm thinking to myself, money. If a hospital put out there, oh, we brought this some guy and he's got Ebola, and they didn't react to it quickly, because here's the thing, Ebola looks like the flu.
Right.
People, you can have Ebola and go in there and they'll treat you like anyone else.
Yeah,
it's too late.
That's what's so dangerous about this virus. One of the ladies that was the nurse that got it in Texas, she got on a plane and flew to Akron, Ohio.
And she went to Cleveland too, right?
Right. She's in a wedding. She went to a bridal shop with 7 other bridesmaids.
Yeah.
And they were all in there mingling.
What a wedding present, huh?
Yeah.
I got you Ebola.
Oh, check. That's a bit morbid, but I guess this whole subject really is kind of morbid. So, it was Frontier Airlines. This lady was on Frontier Airlines.
They've scrubbed that plane 7 times.
Right, and they expanded their search for other people, because they have to. Who could this lady came in contact? 5 flights that used that same plane after her flight.
Wow!
So 6 flights of people. They're looking. How many people does that possibly have it?
That's like 1,000 people, 1,200 people. It's like 130 people a flight, I think, on average.
Yeah.
So that's 130. Like, I'm just guessing here, but like 120 to 140 times how many flights? 5 flights.
Oh yeah, and like we said on the first Ebola show, the panic is starting to spread in. You see it slowly, and the newspapers are trying to slow it down, but fear is already starting to spread across America. Sales of hand sanitizer and cleaning products have spiked through the roof. A lot of places, they can't even keep them on the shelves. You know how, and there's 5 different airports where they're screening people for their temperature when they come through. They have people coming off the flights of every airport in the country. People are getting off the flights and going straight to the doctor and say, take my temperature.
Oh, wow.
People are starting to freak. in Texas is where, they had those cases.
Texas just today banned flights. Just in the state of Texas.
Wow, I didn't even hear that.
The governor, Perry, said, I'm not taking no flights from those countries.
This news is coming so fast and so furious. If you listen to us here on ParanormalRoads.com, by the time you hear this, there's going to be so many more stories. I mean, we're just reporting what we know now. And students, not just in Texas, but the surrounding states, students aren't going to school. They're not reporting this. I mean, it's reported. If you go on your internet and you really search really, really hard, it's reported. But if you pick up your daily newspaper, your New York Times or LA Times, it's not in there.
That's why when I heard this, I'm calling it a rumor because it's not proven because it's not being reported. What if they're not reporting because they don't want people to get scared? What if they don't want people, like say if you're a nurse, I've heard nurses say if it goes to the hospital, they're quitting or they're not going to work until it's, because I've heard people say we are not prepared for that. I say we are not prepared for Ebola.
Right.
And I've got friends that said a big problem is maybe they got the protection stuff on.
Right.
But they're not trained well enough in that protection.
Right.
They could be degarbing. It's not just putting stuff on. They might be taking it off.
Take it off. Right. Right.
So,
and those things, even if you put them on, there's no 100%. There's no 100% guarantee.
Yeah.
I mean, you're pretty well covered. But yeah, you're right. Taking it off, which is, and we talked about it on the last Ebola show, human nature. People don't want to believe they have Ebola. That nurse is like, "Oh, you have Ebola. Oh, well, I'm just going to go to Akron for a little bit. Nobody will notice." Human nature plays a huge part in how the viruses count on human nature.
Viruses
they
are
need
smart.
that.
If you look in the medical textbooks, there are diseases out there. They manipulate your brain.
Sure.
There's diseases and they got this. There's this fungus that attacks certain animals out there.
Right.
And they call them the zombie fungus. There's this frog or an ant. There's an ant. This fungus goes into an ant. The ant will actually eat this dead plant or something. I can't remember the whole process. Look it up. Look for the zombie ant online.
Right.
They'll eat this thing where the fungus grows. It won't kill the ant. It actually mutates the ant, and it grows in their brain, and it actually controls their brain, and makes them climb up somewhere away from the rest of the group, and then the ant will turn into a fungus where a bird will eat it. Right. The bird gets infected. The bird becomes a zombie, and then the bird will die, and the ant will eat the thing over. Look it up. It's so wild.
Wow, that is crazy.
And this Ebola thing made me think of zombies. Like Walking Dead's coming back on, and I'm thinking to myself, not like the zombies itself, but there's just the whole scenario. It's like I'm watching the news, and the news is like Shepard Smith the other day. He's like, there's nothing going on. No one's getting it. This is after the first person. No one's getting Ebola. No one else is getting it. There's no problem to look at.
Right.
And look, there's already 2 more people with it.
Oh, yeah.
But it seems like the beginning of every zombie movie is like, there's nothing going on here.
But you know what?
And next thing you know, there's you're a zombie.
That's another point to my comment that viruses, they count on that. Not just the lady going ho-hum. The viruses also count on Shepard Smith or Tom Brokaw, whoever's out there doing the news, of saying, hey, it's no problem. The virus is like, oh, yeah, that's right. Tell everybody it's not a problem.
Yeah.
They know. It's all like there's some sort of hidden agenda on viruses. They absolutely know how humans work. I mean, I'm just speculating. I mean, they don't actually do that.
Why not? We don't know everything.
Maybe there's some hidden virus agenda.
To the world thinks of humans as viruses.
Right. Because if the virus, most viruses start in animals.
Yeah.
You think they would just be happy, okay, we have animals. But no, they want to jump to humans.
They boil that greedy little bug.
I know, tell me about it. Yeah. So, just yesterday or the day before, in their infamous wisdom, the U.S. government has, there is now an Ebola czar.
Oh, yeah.
Ron Klain. He is the former chief of staff to Vice President Joe Biden and Vice President Al Gore. So he goes back. Guess how much, Jack? And you can answer this, I bet.
Okay.
You've never even heard this question before. How much experience does he have in the medical field?
I actually wrote this down.
Oh, you did?
Zero. He's a political guy. He's a politic. He's in politics.
So that should stop Obama.
Well, this is what's showing you what they care about. They care about the politics.
Right.
They care about what things look like to people. That's like if you go ask the average person who anyone in government is besides the president, because the president is always, doesn't matter who it is, it's always like the fate, it's always the image of the country. But if you ask anyone who the Speaker of the House or who George Washington is or anything, they don't know nothing. People know who Miley Cyrus is. People know how much a movie ticket is, or they know the best food at a restaurant. They know the top 40 songs, but they don't know the things that the people in charge, like the people that are making the laws and stuff, people don't know.
Oh yeah, they have this, Ebola czar, Ron Klain, I think it is. And I quote from the paper, they hired him with the hope of streamlining America's response. He's not a medical doctor. What kind of response is he streamlining? Political?
A political response.
He has no... How's he going to know how to handle Ebola?
He's the guy
What does he know?
He's the guy that's going to tell everyone to say everything's okay.
Right.
So...
Yeah, that's my point. So, does the government really have a hold on it? I don't know. It doesn't look good to me. I mean, I don't know everything the government's doing. I'm not in the government.
Yeah,
They'll probably never hire us.
we're not here to bash the government.
Right.
The problem is Ebola.
We want the government to do good.
Yeah.
And I actually have an idea, and it might even be out there, so I might be too late on this idea. An actual helpful idea. How about an app on the phone, an Ebola app? At first I came up with it, oh yeah, that's silly. That's a stupid idea. But then I started thinking about it. I'm like, wow, that might be a pretty good idea. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They have apps for everything. You can, hey, there's an app for that. Why can't there be an Ebola app?
Good to educate people. A lot of people, if you ask the average person, go back to my point about people knowing things, a lot of people probably don't know what Ebola is. They might think it's like a new type of cereal or something.
Right.
So
maybe the Ebola app can, I don't know, give updates of where Ebola has been. Because in the next coming week...
Like a sighting or...
Right. If there's going to be 10,000 new cases a week, people are going to want to know where. So maybe if there's an Ebola app, everybody would know.
Yeah.
That would help. Any little bit of information would help. Because, or it could have, like, what can you do? You have your personal protective equipment, suits, gloves, respirators. We already talked about that a little bit.
I'll say we talked about this in the first show. Go buy a respirator or even a mask. If you can't afford a respirator, get a mask. They're like $1.50 at Home Depot.
A little
you get a Walmart for 99 cents.
Save your life.
Get a face shield, a respirator mask. Wear gloves. Gloves are really important. I didn't talk about gloves the first show, but get like a whole box of gloves because you put your hands on everything all day. That's the main transmission of any disease is your hands touching things.
Right.
So what you want to do is don't just get one pair of gloves, please. Buy like a whole box and change them throughout the day.
Yeah.
You don't want to touch your face. If you're wearing gloves, you have to touch your face or you're going to sneeze. You have to take those gloves off and you have to rechange them.
Right.
So we're here to save lives too. Get some protective equipment. Get some gloves. Get some face shields. And I said stock up on water. Get like I don't know, whatever you can afford. Okay.
Right.
Instead of going to the movies, buy like 3 cases of water because what Ebola does. Because you're hearing everything about Ebola, but you're not hearing what it does to you really. A few people are. It dehydrates your body to the point where you die. And the way it does is because you just vomit all the time and you have diarrhea.
Right.
And that's another reason why it's going to be spreading a lot if it goes around because that's a lot of fluids going everywhere.
Right.
So.
Well, yeah, I mean, and if there was an Ebola app, or not even an app, just an Ebola website that everybody, like Ebola.com, somebody out there listen to ParanormalRoads.com, one of our awesome viewers could maybe set this up because we're not good at that. But
yeah.
So what can you do? Maybe this website or app can be like, what can you do?
That's a great idea.
The CDC,
I love the app.
Yeah.
You could Twitter it. They could be on Twitter. Ebola's and blah blah blah.
Well, I don't have a smartphone, so I guess I'm doomed. But well, the CDC, just real quick, you have to monitor yourself. I know this sounds extreme, but this is an extreme virus. They suggest you take your temperature 2 times a day. That way you can catch any potential fever early.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know how much it's going to help.
Did you hear that 13% of all Ebola victims don't even get a fever?
Really? No, I did not hear that.
Everyone doesn't always get all the symptoms. So
this is like we talk about perfect storms, like in all types of events. Ebola is the perfect storm of viruses.
It's the perfect thing to kill a bunch of humans.
Right. It looks like the common cold or flu. There's a 21-day incubation period, which you could fly all over the world in 21 days.
The average is actually 12 days. It usually kills people in 12 days.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. It's just the CDC says 21 days to be safe.
Oh.
Yeah, we originally said 21 days. It could be up to...
It kills you in like 12 days.
It's usually 8 to 12 days you're dead.
Is that... Oh, jeez.
So, 8 to 12 dead or 8 to 12 you get a lot of symptoms. Depending on what country you're in. United States, 8 to 12 days you get the symptoms and you're probably staying alive, because the main thing to stay alive is staying hydrated. Stay hydrated, and then the other main thing that this disease does is it causes your lungs not to breathe. So if you can get go get some prescription for albuterol. That albuterol is like the cure-all for breathing. Or get anything that help you breathe.
What do you think about, because if you get the common flu or whatever, Theraflu they tell you to get, you think that would help?
That would help. They don't have a thing, it's a virus. The people that are there,
no pill.
You know what they're treating? You know how they're being treated right now? The people that they just have an IV in them, they're staying hydrated, and they're giving them breathing treatments. That's all they can do for them.
Yeah.
That is all
if you don't have a strong immune system, you're
dead. So there's it's like 70% of the people are dying. Because they don't have any medicine. All they have is staying hydrated and getting breathing treatments. And if you can't go get a treatment at the hospital, because that could happen. It could happen where it could be like 100,000 people have it. They can't treat all those people. And we're just saying maybe the hospitals aren't reporting things if there's stuff out there because they don't want the nurses not to show up to work.
Right.
A lot of these nurses aren't even full nurses. All of them are student nurses.
Right.
They don't want the hospitals to close down.
If you really think about it, if you just sit for 5 minutes and you think about how it might spread, hospitals, schools, cruise ships, one person gets on a cruise ship, look what happened. How many cruise ships have they had that had viruses that people got deathly ill?
Yep.
You got people vomiting with diarrhea on a cruise ship. Half the people, you're just...
And you made a good point.
Jump overboard.
We're talking about the airplane ban.
Right.
But that doesn't even stop it, because, you made a really good point. The last show, all they got to do, because I was talking about, terrorists would take advantage of it. All they got to do is send someone to a different country where it's not banned, and then they come here.
Yeah.
So
get some Ebola patient, put Ebola in a spray bottle, keep it warm, smuggle it over there, and just start spraying it on people.
Yeah, but you
could wipe out half the world.
But you don't give it to an Ebola patient. What you do is get it someone sick, and then we're saying they would just infect everyone.
Right.
So, and then it would take 10 days, and then they'd be here for 10 days already. So,
and I was just thinking about this the other day, and then I came across it this morning on the internet. The UN is now training Ebola survivors to help respond to the soaring number of cases in West Africa. Weren't me and you talking about that the other day?
Yep.
What if you survive Ebola? Can you help? I don't know. You thought that we weren't a person that survived Ebola would not be completely immune because it would mutate.
Yeah. It would turn airborne. And
I mean, that seems to me like a rational idea to train people that survived Ebola.
You're lucky to be alive. You can at least help someone, right?
Right.
And here's another thing. We're sending U.S. troops over there now.
Right.
Thousands of them. And what are they going to be banned from coming back home?
Ooh, good point.
Are they going to? Because a percentage of them are going to get Ebola. I think I heard 2,000 they're sending over this week or next week.
Yeah.
2,000 troops.
Right.
And I'm thinking to myself, if I was a soldier and I'm being sent there to do things I'm not trained to do, say you're trained to shoot and kill people, you're not trained to build, you're not a Home Depot worker, you're not trained to build buildings and save people's lives that way. You're trained to kill and not save lives.
What?
Yeah, I'd be like, I'm rather go fight the Taliban right now than fight this.
All right, well, let me tell you.
I got a better mortality rate.
Let me tell you from first-hand experience, because I'm a veteran of foreign war and I was in the Army. When you sign your name on that dotted line, they can send you anywhere for any purpose.
Yeah, you're just a number.
Right. It might be to count underwear. It might be to shoot somebody. It might be to parachute behind enemy lines, or it might be to put on scrubs and go get Ebola. Yeah. Your ass is theirs.
Yeah.
Basically.
Oh, yeah.
So there's nothing those people can do about it in the military. They can't.
Oh, yeah. But I'm saying it may not be the smartest thing to do. Because if you send 2,000 people over, and what's the percentage of people in Africa getting it? Like 50%, I think.
Yeah.
So you're saying 2,000 over, and then say the rate will be lower for our guys. Say it's like 10%. So that's 200 people that'll get it.
Well, I'm not overly concerned with the troops going over there because I don't know. I don't think they'll really be doing much anyway. Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Who knows?
Being in the Army before, I don't know. I just don't see them. It's still a risk, It's still a risk, but I wouldn't. If I was in that military unit, I wouldn't be too overly concerned. I would have protective gear on all the time.
Well,
I would sleep in a mask.
And everybody, this is coming from a veteran, so if he says that there's not much concern, then slight risk, then
I know the military. Human beings like to put organizations on pedestals. Maybe it'd be the military, or the government, or the Red Cross, but we're all just humans.
Yeah.
And even the military messes up. The Red Cross messes up. Every organization.
Human nature.
You can't escape human nature.
Yep.
So that's in the play.
Like in any lab, you go in a chemistry lab, there's always like 5% error.
Oh yeah.
Like anytime you do an experiment, you have like 5% human error. So
you got Ebola. You're hearing it here on ParanormalRoads.com. You got Ebola out there. This is the perfect storm of viruses. Yeah. Perfect storm. Human nature thrown in there. It's just going to end up a big ball of misery.
And we're hoping it won't. We hope that everybody puts the best people in charge. And the best, not just the people in charge. Let's just hope everybody does everything good. And it keeps it at a low risk, low fatalities. Because this is something that, if anything, is just... If human nature takes over and things screw up, even a 5% chance on this could turn into like 70% death.
Yeah, this virus is so brutal. It doesn't even need 5%. It could probably do it on 0.5% in a human error. But I would love to be sitting here, and I would like to be like the government or the newscasters or whatever, and say, don't panic. But don't panic. But
there's no cure.
At least know what you're dealing with.
Yeah, there's no cure. Prepare yourself. And I would say, get some face shields, gloves. Get a lot of gloves. Get masks. You need more than one mask because those masks they'll get infected.
Right.
I mean, it's possible if it may come to the point where you may have to. They'll do martial law.
Right.
Martial law. And anytime you walk out of your house, they'll be taking your temp.
Right.
If you have the flu, they'll assume you have Ebola.
Yeah. Hell, you can have a common cold and they'll think you have Ebola.
You may be in a FEMA camp.
Oh, you're gonna have people freaking out, most definitely. I hope it doesn't happen, but I think it will. But
and if they throw a bunch of people in a camp and stuff, that would spread it even worse.
Yeah. Just pray, like we said in the first show. Pray to God. And if you get sick, just drink a lot of fluids. Try to get to a hospital.
Stay away from other people
if
too.
Possible. You
got to isolate yourself. If you do get it, you have to isolate yourself.
Yeah. Try not to.
Get medical attention, but don't be hugging your kids and kissing your wives and.
But there is some hope. Like
Yeah.
I said, that UN is now training the Ebola survivors to help.
Yeah, that's good.
And we trash the government a lot on this show. We don't try to directly name names, but we just generally talk about the government. But we got to give kudos to the United States government when it's due. And it's due.
Yeah.
When I read this morning, John Kerry, he's the U.S. Secretary of State,
Yeah.
he said, and I quote, "If we don't get ahead of Ebola, we'll be fighting it for decades."
Yeah. And I hope these aren't just words coming out of him.
Right. Well, he's not just saying, that to me is a little bit of confidence.
That's a little strong statement.
That's a little bit of confidence. There's a lot in there than more than them words.
Yeah.
It's the government saying, "Hey, Ebola's here. Let's get it done. Let's fight it."
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, Joe Schmo on TV might be saying, "Oh, don't worry about it." The U.S. government's like, "Hey."
Well, John Kerry is.
Right. Yeah,
So,
the government.
Not everyone, but...
Right.
Yeah.
Well, the U.S. Secretary of State is kind of one of the figureheads.
He's one of the top guys.
Right.
That's a strong statement, though.
Right. So there's hope out there, everybody. We'll try to keep you updated. We'll do Ebola Part 3 if we have to.
If we need to.
God,
hopefully we don't need to.
Yeah, hopefully Ebola it just goes away.
Yeah, hopefully it goes away.
Right. But, I can't really think of anything else to talk about.
I suggest you get I don't usually get a flu shot, but I would suggest you get a flu shot.
Yeah, I got mine.
Because, like we were saying in the first show, you don't have to worry just about Ebola. This is going to it's hitting right at the winter months. If you get the flu, the cold, if somebody that has Ebola gets the flu also, they're going to be projectiling it all over the place.
Right.
So, which will cause it to spread more. So, that's the problem with Ebola.
Well, I'll just... The only thing I have to say is that it's a personal story. If you get Ebola and it looks like you're not going to make it, I almost died once from the flu, and it's very peaceful. It doesn't hurt. So anybody out there that's going to, rob a 7-Eleven and shoot people for their food, or before you get crazy, just remember, it's a peaceful death. Don't freak out. It's not going to be painful. You hardly won't even know it's going to happen. That's what happened to me. I almost died from the flu, which is a virus. So maybe that can give some people some comfort that listen to the show. Maybe.
Yeah.
That's all I got.
Yeah, that's
yeah.
I agree with that. So.
Yeah, it's not a painful death. You
might have pain up until the point where you're about to die.
Well, the human body,
but
once it reaches a certain pain threshold, it shuts down.
Oh yeah,
and that's what happens.
Yep.
So you see, we're looking at a patient, bleeding out of the eyes and the nose and out of every orifice. Those people, they're far gone.
Oh yeah.
To us, it looks horrible, but they're not feeling that. That's not a pain that they have. They're way past pain.
Hey, your body won't let you feel.
And
so
your
much
mind
pain.
shuts down. Yeah.
I was once football back in high school. I was setting up those dogs, the sleds that everyone, like the 7-man sleds everyone hits. I was setting up the sled,
right,
and the coach didn't see me. I was like the last one to set. I had to set stuff up in front of it. He blew the whistle when I was in front of it. You know what happened? 7 big dudes pushed this thing right over my leg.
Ouch.
The thing instantly went over my leg, and my whole leg snapped. Like,
wow.
And
what happened? Did you feel anything?
I was everyone was like, I was laughing. I was like, I remember saying this. I couldn't feel nothing. I was instantly in shock. Like, your body will not let you feel pain past a point. And I remember everyone was like, man, you're such a badass. Because I was like, big smile on my face, and I remember saying this, can you please get this off my leg? Yeah. And everyone was like, don't mess with him, because he just got ran over by a 7-man sled and was laughing about it, and just quietly said, can you please get this off my leg?
Oh, wow. Yeah, that also reminds me of a story of they have walked into tribes that were starving to death. Do you think them people were miserable and, moaning and groaning? them people were close to death. They were watching their family members die. They were laughing and joking.
Yeah.
The brain switches. It has a switch.
Yeah.
Them people were happy. They were laughing. They were joking. They were actually enjoying, like, hey, my mom's dying. I'm going to, like, just be happy and enjoy the last few minutes with them.
Yeah.
And that's what they did. That's what the human brain does. So people, please don't
get depressed.
Don't get depressed.
Don't worry about Ebola. Just prepare for it.
Right.
So you don't become a victim.
Right.
And if
Do
everybody
not.
prepares, then it won't spread. If everybody is prepared for this,
And
it won't spread.
don't hurt anybody, because, you know what I mean, don't go, oh my God, Ebola's coming, I'm gonna, you know, like I said, do
and
crazy
don't
stuff.
take please, people, don't take advantage of a situation, because you know when bad things happen, people always come in and
If you're gonna get it, you're gonna get it. If you're gonna get Ebola, you will get it. You might not get it today, you might not get it tomorrow, but you will get it. Trying to buy yourself a few minutes or a few days by hurting somebody that's just ridiculous.
Yeah.
If you're gonna get it, fight it, pray, be strong, drink a lot of water, and if, you know, God help you, God love you. If you can survive it, help other people.
Yeah.
You know,
So-
you can get your hands right in there and help some people. Bring them some water. You know, put a cold rag on their head. Something, just help.
And once
them
you
get
have
through
it, are you immune to it? I don't know.
Well, that's the
And maybe
best.
it's
That's the
something we
best
can
shot
look-
you got.
Maybe we can look into that.
But you know, there's going to be. I don't know if we mentioned this on the last show, but there's probably going to be, like, remember we always had that joke, something's going to wipe out the people of the United States,
Yeah.
but the only survivors are going to be the Indians.
Oh yeah.
the Native Americans are going to survive because they're immune to the gene.
Yeah.
They'll be like, hey, we got America back. all the people are gone. All them European people are gone. Yay. And they'll be like, you know.
Then I was laughing at you because I said I'm part Indian
and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
So maybe next week, Paranormal Roads will just be Jack. And then you
That's
can
funny.
Get out the peace pipe.
Yep.
Well, that's all I got, Jack. How about you? Anything else?
I say that's a wrap.
That was good. Bullet
No,
part
it
2.
was longer than I thought it'd be.
Yeah, I didn't think we'd have that much, but hopefully that's the last Ebola part. Hopefully there's not a part 3. But
I just pray that it doesn't spread. I hope the people in power and the people. And it's not just people in power. I hope people in general will just keep things sanitary. Wash your hands. Be cleaner. Okay,
Right.
Wash your hands. If you get sick, try not to throw up on people. Clean up the area.
Try not to throw up on people, please.
Clean up the area. Use bleach, because bleach, I think, is the only thing that kills this virus.
Probably.
You can't use like
Vinegar.
I don't know. Maybe you can, but bleach.
Yeah, vinegar might. I mean, who knows?
Because even when they're degarbing on these, usually degarbing doesn't involve bleach, but they're actually bleaching people. Yeah, they're getting sprayed head to toe with bleach before they actually degarb. So,
wow. Well, hopefully this is the last show and we can put a wrap on Ebola. But if not, paranormalroads.com.
yep, you can contact us at paranormalroads@gmail.com.
Yeah, if you have any ideas, shoot them to us. We'll use them in the next show.
Yeah, if you think we're full of it, or
let us
if you
know
like
if you think
us,
we're full of it. Yeah. Or, we have other shows too. We don't just do Ebola. We do anything paranormal.
yeah, this
Ghosts,
isn't Ebola.com.
UFOs, Bigfoot. Yeah, we were just Bigfoot hunting today. That was
Yeah.
kind of cool. Kind of freaked me out, though. I didn't think I'd be so freaked. But you do a great call. You do a good
thanks.
whoop. Jack does a good whoop. So listen to, that one. All right, everybody. ParanormalRoads.com. I'm Mike.
I'm Jack.
Have a good night.
And don't get Ebola.